Hello and welcome to the desk of a Navy wife, where you may or may not hear my kiddos in the background. My name is Reyna and on this podcast, we like to dive deep into the unique challenges, triumphs, and experiences that come with being a military spouse. Whether you're navigating a deployment, relocating, or seeking resources for your personal and professional growth, I am a part of your community and happy to bring this information to you. So kick back, relax, make that cup of coffee or get that evening dinner ready and just listen to me in the background. Today's episode is going to be adjusting to MilspouseLife. With that, I'll be touching on what it means to be a military spouse, defining an ombudsman, as well as a sponsor. So as a military spouse, it often is us supporting our members of the armed forces. We play a crucial role in maintaining our military family and all that comes with being within the military community. So this encompasses various challenges. It can be frequent relocations, deployments, as well as a demanding lifestyle. Often as military spouses, we need to know how to maneuver different things that may come our way. And so we have that resilience, flexibility, and a strong sense of community that we've built through the months and the years. Some of the challenges, just to give you an example, we have to manage those household responsibilities quite frequently. We may be that stay-at-home parent, and if our significant other goes on a deployment, we have to still maintain that sense of a family and establish more connections within our community, really to stay sane. So now I'm going to delve into what an ombudsman is. For those that are newer to the military spouse community, those are going to be our representatives who are the liaison. They're going to be speaking to military family or the organization as a whole, and they speak to the triad or what is within the military command structure. As an ombudsman, they're often appointed to those specific units or commands. So if your spouse starts coming to you and saying, hey, I'm getting ready to go on deployment, be sure to connect with the ombudsman. There are meetings that take place where the ombudsman can go and introduce themselves. At some installations, you can go ahead and connect with them one-on-one or get an email from the command directly from that ombudsman. So there's going to be ways that they'll communicate to you or reach out to you if you're newer to the command. With an ombudsman, they're typically your point of contact. So they offer assistance when it comes to deployments. They'll relay information to you when it comes to getting resources or talking to the command or giving you any type of support to handle issues that are related to military life. If you are newer to an installation or if you're just new to military life in general, be sure to touch base with them because, again, they're going to assist you along the way. So the next is, what is a sponsor? I don't know if you've heard that terminology before. I'm not going to lie, I did not know what a sponsor meant when it came to military life. So I did chuckle when I found out that it's actually an individual that's going to assist any type of newcomer, whether you're new after you PCS, after you relocate. When you relocate to a new duty station or command, that sponsor is going to be your guide. They're going to be your point of contact and they're going to help you navigate any type of transition and make sure that you're settling into your new environment. I know this was very helpful when we went overseas as a family. As soon as I found out we had a sponsor and I knew who the ombudsman was, I was reaching out. I know I wanted that assistance because I was pregnant, and being pregnant, knowing my husband was going to have to go on deployment multiple times, I made sure I made those connections up front. They are very valuable. They're going to provide you information on your local area, help you with housing. Sometimes if you're relocating to a new place, your sponsor can go check out that place for you. I know I've had people, when we relocated a couple times and we found out who our sponsor was, they came and kind of peered through the windows, found out about the area or the neighborhoods. Having someone there to help with that, the housing, giving you any type of insight with the command structure. And that's typically the sponsor of your significant other that's in the military. They're going to help with the command structure. And then the sponsor's maybe spouse can touch base with you and talk about everything related to, again, your area and housing and help you to really integrate into the military community. Now, your sponsor is going to help in most cases, and hopefully all of you will experience the same, easing any challenges that will come with that change of a station, duty station. They're going to help you foster a sense of welcome. They're going to bring you as a newcomer, make sure you're adapting to your surroundings. And the purpose of the sponsor and the system itself is really there to enhance your support network within the community. They're there to promote that smoother transition for you and your family as well. I hope I have provided some type of insight when it comes to hearing the terms of an ombudsman, of a sponsor, and honestly, what to expect being a military spouse in this community. So that was the first topic of what to expect. Next, it's what to expect for deployment. If your significant other is going to be someone who is on deployment, it can span from 11 months to more. Some can be 6 months or less, but typically it's up there. Okay, they're going to be gone for quite some time. I do want to say it's not always going to be a consistent time frame. So being sure that you have that contact information of the people I spoke about, the ombudsman, the sponsors, please be sure to touch base with them, exchange information, start working on your network, and attend deployment briefs. They are offered, at least in my experience, they have always been offered to military families to attend, and they typically have some type of daycare set up just for that couple of hours for families that have little ones. If you have not attended one before, I suggest you do attend one so you can meet the other spouses that are also having their significant other on that deployment. It's very important to connect with those individuals, making sure either you're exchanging contact information, being open to meeting those other spouses that are going to be going through the exact same deployment and time frame with you is going to be beneficial for you. I know personal experience when my significant other, when we were overseas, he was always gone, always on deployment. And we were there for 4 years. So having a relationship with spouses that I genuinely built through different organizations that were available or different clubs that were available, having those relationships really helped down the line when I was sick or I was in the emergency room. Having a baby, I needed assistance with that. They were able to set up meal trains, connect with me, make sure I was okay, or even pick up my kiddos from daycare or school if I needed them to. I worked overseas as well, and oftentimes I had to facilitate. I had to go to other installations in a different country and do workshops for 3 days. And so I was not available for my family, and my husband was deployed. So having those connections and those relationships and people that I trusted and made sure, I vetted and everything prior to, but having those relationships really helped me when I was gone and away from my littles. Be sure to connect with spouses and their significant other, really honestly for your sanity, but just in case there's deployments as well, you have some contact information and some type of relationship with those individuals. Now, I do want to point out, basically when your significant other goes on a deployment, they're going to also have whoever's over that deployment, they're going to have a significant other that you're going to want to contact with. What to expect with deployment. I talked about military spouses. I talked about deployment just briefly. I'll go into more of this down the line in other podcasts, keeping this brief. The third topic I really wanted to talk about was how not to feel lost with your career journey, not to feel lost with yourself. Let me tell you firsthand, if you have not heard it before, you do not have to stop working. Now, if that's a preference of yours, absolutely, by all means, kick back, relax, or, do whatever it is that you do if you're not interested in working. But if you're someone that wants to work, or you're like, hey, I cannot be in the house all the time, I need to be out and about, be sure to look for those opportunities. Don't believe, hey, I have a disadvantage, I'm always moving, I'm only going to be able to be there for maybe a couple of years. And you may think that people look at you negatively. I can tell you right now, especially in the past couple of years, I personally have experienced a lot of a trend in companies wanting to hire military spouses because of them being able to adapt and adjust, because of them being able to be someone that is reliable, showing that they can really overcome challenges, which those all paint a really great picture. And a lot of companies also are looking for veterans. It's just a matter of us as spouses knowing where to look, right? So you may say, okay, that sounds all good, Reyna, but I've tried. I've gone on to Indeed, I've gone into LinkedIn, gone on social media and you tried to find a job, or you've gone in person and applied for a position. You're just not seeing those results. I'm going to be sharing with you a few resources that you can take advantage of. And maybe you have heard of these before, or maybe not. If you have, that's awesome. If not, I'm hoping I'm bringing something to you in the forefront that you may not have been aware of. Ways that you're not going to feel lost in your career journey Expand on your education. I do want to point out, be careful of some schools where they're saying, oh, you can get this certification or you can get this degree in less than a couple of months. They may be money hungry. Really do your research on whether that university or college is accredited. And some of those websites that you can do to check that out is Career One Stop. So it's careeronestop.org. I'll drop that down below. There is a way that you can go in there and find training, look through schools, look through programs, go to the university's website itself when you're doing your research. If you found a university, see if they're accredited and within their program. And in some cases, there's even federal websites. I want to say one of them is ed.gov or ope.ed.gov, but it's basically the U.S. Department of Education. You want to go to U.S. Department of Education or the Council for Higher Education accreditation and see from there, is your university accredited? So those are some resources you can take advantage of to ensure that it is actually a legit program. And again, I'm going to drop those down below, but I do want to at least share that with you. Some other resources, maybe you're not going the education route and you're like, hey, listen, I have some experience. I just need to know how to word it. Go to Military Spouse Employment Partnership. That's MSEP. And that's also found under militaryonesource.mil. It's called the Military Spouse Employment Workshop. Another is LinkedIn Military and Veteran Programs. Again, on LinkedIn.com, look up programs, look up military. Honestly, if you have a LinkedIn account, search military spouse and see what type of groups that exist. There are a ton of them. If you're interested in even connecting with me on LinkedIn, please reach out. Again, introduce yourself in a message. And if you have questions, I'm very open to sharing with you more resources and how I went about finding employment everywhere we moved. Okay, because it has happened. I was able to maintain jobs. I was able to carry jobs to other locations. So I can help you with that and assist you with that. Another is National Military Family Association. So that is under militaryfamily.org. This provides resources, it provides supports to you, and also offers employment and career development information for you as a spouse. There's also the American Job Center that can help with you at finding a physical location. So if you go onto the website, try to look up a physical location of a center. Those centers have resume writing workshops. Sometimes they have counselors for you all as a military spouse, also for veterans. Some of them have computer labs. Not all of them are the same. I will say that up front. But searching the city and state that you live in or you plan to relocate to ahead of time, reaching out to that point of contact ahead of time, is going to help you with finding a position or opportunity for you. Another is Military One Source. If you have been a spouse for quite some time, I'm sure you may have heard of this a lot. MilitaryOneSource.mil offers career counselors. They give you education resources. They'll provide employment opportunities as well. So take advantage. Use that search engine, highlight things, reach out, call. You'll be surprised what opportunities are out there. Then there's the My Career Advancement account, MICA. I know as a new spouse, I did not know about this. I had to be a spouse. I want to say it was like 2 to 3 years before I even heard of this. And it was another spouse that brought it up to me. And what it is, it's not eligible for all spouses. The last I checked, I want to say it was E5 or E6 and below, where they gave you up to $4,000 in financial assistance. And with that, you can get a training. It can go towards a certificate, some type of education, a license, a degree that helped you for the future. Honestly, I have taken advantage of it twice. Half of it went to my certificate with victimology, and then my second went towards a group fitness certification that I wanted. I know some spouses, when they want to do group fitness and they're paying out of pocket, where you can use that $4,000 to really get a certification, attend a school, and go teach classes if that's something you're interested in. So MICA, all right, and that is going to be found in Military One Source. Use the search engine, type in MY as in yellow, C as in cat, A as in alpha, A as in alpha. So MICA, okay? And I may be saying it wrong. I apologize. If someone knows the correct way to say it, go ahead and let me know. All right. Next is Coursera. Not sure if you ever heard of this website, but Coursera.org, you can take advantage of ways to enhance your skill, pursue a new career path, really stay competitive in the job market, learn something new. I will say most classes are free. It's a learning platform, so it is online. With those courses and certifications, they are free. I want to say you do have to pay an amount though if you want to print off the certificate or some form showing that you have that certification. The least I've seen was like $80, but some of them are, in the higher hundreds depending on what type of classes you're taking. You can find them on Coursera. Course, so COURS as in Sam, E as in elephant, again, I'll drop it in the link, but Coursera.org. Same is true if you were to go to Act Now Education or LinkedIn, you can find some type of training on there as well. This will roll into my next resource for you, Act Now Education. I found out about this a year ago, actually, in one of my workshops that wanted to look into career opportunities and education. They offer a lot of information. They have programs, scholarships, resources that'll help you with your educational and professional goals. So actnoweducation.org is nice to check out. I've discovered them on LinkedIn after I've had a conversation with people in workshops in the past. So they're a lot more active I've seen on LinkedIn, but they do have a website as well. So actnoweducation.org. Blue Star Families is the next resource I'm going to share with you all. And it is a non-for-profit organization. They give you support. They offer programs when it comes to career development, education, any type of employment opportunities, and that is bluestarfam.org. bluestarfam.org is another great resource. So I believe I've shared maybe 9 or 10 different resources. I'm going to drop them down for you all. Do not think this is the only podcast that's going to have all of them. I plan to share as many as I find, as many that as I have researched or have taken advantage of down the line as well in future podcasts. So you'll have to stay tuned in those. Remember, as a military spouse, we all have different journeys, different careers, different career paths. So making sure we find those right resources and support is going to greatly impact us in our success despite our frequent relocations. I wish you the best in those future career and educational endeavors. I'm rooting for you. Thank you all again for tuning in this week. I look forward to bringing you resources, support, and laughter. Sending my love from the desk of a Navy wife.